Hey everyone, I'm Chris Os.
My name is Aos, and this is the Aos-to-Aos podcast.
Hey, we got an exciting show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about motivation and some of the things you can use to keep yourself motivated in your daily life.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Hey everybody, welcome back. Like we said earlier, we're doing a video about motivation, how to be more motivated in your daily life and things, and we just want to jump right into it. So starting off, first we have just start. This is kind of in conjunction with the last thing we did to stop procrastinating, the last video we did, but this one is just start. You don't want to wait around and do things later. You don't want to set things off later. Motivation actually comes. Sometimes, it's a fleeting feeling you have. Sometimes it comes from actually just starting. Sometimes it comes from, getting up, doing laundry, getting up, doing dishes, and you can get motivated that way. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I know this is one of those subjects that it seems like we beat to death. We talk about motivation and stopping procrastination, but, ultimately this is the one thing that actually sets the tone, for your success in life. So, if you're not being motivated, you're not going anywhere in life. So, that's why we talk about it so much, and that's why I think it's so important. We've talked about things before about, just doing those little things like making your bed or putting on your pants or whatever it is that you need to do first thing in the morning so that, you kind of set the tone for the day so that you can be more productive, just doing your everyday tasks. So, get that little stuff out of the way. So I kind of, I know we talk about it a lot, but I really think it's an important point to make.
Yeah, and the reason we talk about it so much is because it's important, and these things kind of translate into everyday life. But I think it's just really important to know as like an entrepreneur that you do, or even not even as an entrepreneur, if you're an intrapreneur and you're just trying to work hard in your company to like move up, whatever you're doing, don't stay stagnant. You got to keep on working. If you really want something, you got to go get it. It's not going to get itself.
Absolutely. I think that's it's something that we all experience as entrepreneurs is, just kind of hitting the wall a lot of times. And, if you're motivated every morning and you're putting, those steps into play and stuff every morning and doing the little things, starting with the little things, I was thinking about this earlier when we were talking about this, for some people, it might just be something like, putting together three things every morning that you do to, set your morning routine, like making your bed, brushing your teeth, not turning on that TV or making a phone call or, whatever it is, make up a list of just a few things to start off with. I think it was David Goggins. He talked quite a bit about, setting up your routines. There was quite a few other books that I've read that set up, talk about just taking those first steps. And, I remember hearing a story one time about a guy that, he wanted to go to the gym, but he wasn't motivated to go to the gym. So he would get up every morning and he would put on his gym clothes. And that was his first step. That was his one step that he would make every morning. And eventually he's like, oh, well, I got my gym clothes on. I might as well go to the gym. And that's how,
Yeah.
it got him going. So, starting with those little things, maybe finding three, one, two, or three little things just to get you motivated, even starting with one. And, hopefully that motivates you to take that next step.
Yeah, totally. And that kind of brings us to our next topic that I have, which is motivation is fleeting. You're not going to have motivation all the time, and that's okay. There's been endless times where both of us have come onto this podcast and not really wanted to do it, but we do it anyway because, we're trying to chase this dream. So, you got to just do it. You know what I mean? Like, I know it kind of sounds like we're sponsoring Nike here, but just do it. Seriously. Just get up and start doing it because motivation isn't something that's going to be around all the time. But what is going to be around all the time is the work that you have to do to get where you want to go. So that's I totally get that. And then another thing you mentioned there was setting up routines. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. It's I guess it kind of ties into what I just said, setting up your routine every morning. We've talked in the past about, certain things that you need to do every morning. I mean, we all need to get up and put our pants on. We can't go walking on, around without pants on. So,
Right.
that can be part of your routine. You can make your routine out of stuff you're already doing. It doesn't have to be a whole bunch of new stuff. You don't have to. I think that's where a lot of people lose motivation, is because they think that they have to do something, explosive or motivational. They think they need to go out and do something new. Well, no, you don't. If maybe, a good way to start is sit down and write down your, what you do every morning. I mean, even if it's, not significant, you put on your pants, you get up, you brush your teeth, you make your coffee, that can be your morning routine. It doesn't have to be anything dramatic. And then as you start to feel more motivated and saying, hey, I'm doing a lot in the morning, you can start adding on things like, hey, empty my email box, or, check on my projects or something like that. You can add things to that as you go.
Yeah, and I have my morning routine actually just right up here. My morning routine is make coffee, let my dog out, give her food, eat my breakfast while I'm drinking my coffee, and then I do my prayers and affirmations, and then I work out, and then take a shower, and then I work on my businesses or do the podcast or whatever I have to do for the day. Basically do everything I have to do, go to work. When I get back, I read the Bible, pray again, and then I do my I eat dinner and wind down, and then go to bed, and usually try to get reading in there as well. But having a morning routine is just something, I don't know, you don't really know it until you have it, that how important it really is. Just because of the fact that, going through your day, if you wake up and then kind of just go through your day not knowing what you're doing, you get to work, you're like, oh my goodness, I should have eaten, this morning because now I'm starving or whatever it is. So having that morning routine really sets you up for success, because most of the time you're on autopilot, right? Mm-hmm. So if you know exactly what you're going to be doing and you have that autopilot, you're going to be more set up for success in your daily life and things like that. So,
absolutely.
Do you have anything to add to that?
Well, just real quick, it kind of ties in. They talk about goal setting, and they say that when you're goal setting, if you write it down, you're actually 80% more likely to complete that goal, or to achieve that goal. Yeah. So, I mean, just writing it down seems kind of silly, like if you say that you're going to empty your email box, or you're going to write a letter, or you're going to, do another task that seems menial. But if you write it down, you're 80% more likely to achieve that goal. So just by writing down those menial tasks, and at the end of the day, you can look back and you said, hey, I did everything on my morning routine. So that gives you a little bit of encouragement, which will help build motivation. Yeah,
for sure. This here, see this little device right here? This is the greatest tool in the history of entrepreneurship. You can set reminders, you can write notes and things like that. This will seriously keep you on track if you're not a, organized person. You literally hear you have to do something, or know you have to do something. You're like, I have to mow the lawn today. You set a reminder, mow the lawn, 10 p.m. There you go. Now you're going to remember, and you're going to be more motivated to do it because it pops up, and you're accountable to yourself. So that's one thing too, is using your phone as something that can keep you on track, because writing it down on a piece of paper, you might lose that piece of paper, whatever it is. So use your phone a lot too. One thing I had too, this kind of moves on from kind of like the things that you do to motivate you, and kind of more in your mind. So I wrote down using people's stories. So this is something I do a lot. I listen to podcasts, I watch videos, I watch movies, whatever it is, about entrepreneurs. And that gets me really motivated as well, not only because I like their stories and I want to do it, but also because it kind of gives me a sense of I'm falling behind and I'm not making, my millions, or I'm not starting my businesses. So I like to, it kind of gives me a little bit of competition. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. That's a really good point. I try and, I guess I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but when I do, yeah. I do like to watch that kind of stuff. I do that a lot with YouTube, trying to get on there and listen to some success stories, listen to people that are out there grinding and, trying to make their way and stuff. So yeah, definitely a good practice to get into.
Yeah. And I mean, sometimes too, not only just stories, like you can listen to podcasts and stuff like that, but also when I'm driving to work, sometimes if I'm not feeling kind of up for it, I will turn on a motivational speech that kind of gets me pumped. That's just for me personally. You might need a podcast, or you might need to watch a video or a TV show, whatever that is for you. Just don't let it take over your life, I would say. Like watching a movie every once in a while about an entrepreneur is great because it motivates you. If it's all you do, it's not going to be good for you. So just kind of limit yourself to that as well. And so the last thing that I have here, this kind of ties into all of it. So like I said, you don't want to do too much TV. You don't want to do too much this or that. You got to callous your mind. You got to make sure to be tough and, just mentally tough and physically tough to be an entrepreneur. Callous your mind, with your morning routines, callous your mind with, your convictions, with your everything. You have to have a callous mind in order to be an entrepreneur. And that's the difference between people that are wannabes and people that are, out there doing it. Do you agree?
I agree. And I think it's important to kind of mention here that doesn't mean that you need to become a robot or that you need to, push your emotions aside. I mean, those are all parts of us, and that's what I mean. A lot of times, like emotions and that dreaming mentality is what makes entrepreneurs so special. They're the ones, those are the things that make you dream big and come up with all these ideas and see the vision at the end of the tunnel. So you don't want to take that part of it away, but you want to get that mindset where you have your eye on the goal and you're able to achieve that because you're focused on that. So I don't want people to get the wrong impression by what we're saying by calloused. It's more you just need to have that focused mentality and make sure that calluses are something that we get from working hard. They're not. I think that sometimes that when we think of words like that, we think callous means that you're hard and unemotional. No, calluses are something you get from working hard. So I mean, that's I think the perspective we want to put on that word.
Yeah, and I think also, just building off of that, having a heart is a big thing about being an entrepreneur. That's not really involved in this video, but since you mentioned it, I'll kind of work into it. Having heart is a big part of being an entrepreneur, because if you're just out there, you have no passion, you have no emotion for what you're doing, you're really not going to get that far. You have to have passion and emotion for what you're doing in order to be an entrepreneur. So yeah, when I mean callous, I don't necessarily mean just being like hard, to do whatever it takes to make money, I don't care about anything. I just mean, in your morning routines, be very consistent with it, and have that like kind of beaten into your mind. Like, I do this every day. I go work out every day. I work on my business every day because I love it, and this is what I'm doing, and no one can tell me the other way. That's basically what I mean by that. Mm-hmm. So did you have anything else to kind of add to this video?
No, I think that it just continues a theme that we've talked about in most of our videos, and I think that we made some additional points to it today, but like I say, I think that this is just a continued theme, and I don't want to talk to death, but I think it was definitely something that we needed to cover.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, in the future, we might continue on this and go more specific, whatever it is. Like, we might talk about morning routines, whatever it is. So definitely stay tuned for that. And I think that we can probably wrap up now.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed the content we put out today.
Yeah, and totally go ahead and leave a comment down below. I just said totally, so totally go do that.
All right.
So yeah, totally go leave the comment down below, subscribe, leave a like on the video. If you want us to do any kind of specific topics, go ahead and leave a comment about that as well.
Make sure to hit that bell notification so that you're alerted when we put up new videos. Hope you enjoyed the show today.
For sure. All right, yeah, have a good day.